Hello and
So
welcome
Jane, I
to.
found this purple vibrating thing in Rectoblast's handbag, and I didn't know what it was.
I sucked on it for a little while and I didn't find any pleasure out of it.
Turns out it was just a tattoo machine. Who knew?
But now
So,
I have a
yeah,
gnarly tattoo on my tongue.
Oh yeah.
My God, why did you do this?
I don't know. Nobody knows.
That's the start. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Take a Look At, where we will be beating a dead horse by taking a look at creation.com, otherwise known as Creation Ministries International. It's never clear. It's not entirely clear because they don't have another website, so it kind of they have. It's just weird, and apparently it's something about aliens. That's
Alien intrusion.
That's not what I'm expecting. But yeah, this is a creationist website, obviously. And with me today, sorry, I've lost thread there. Rhetoric&Discourse will be in later. He had to yell at assholes. I'm not sure what that.
Like you have to.
As you do.
Yeah. But with us we have Blast.
Oh yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
I guess.
And PurpleDan.
Oh yeah. I'm your
And some bear.
Yeah, I'm just some bear.
that used to make videos a long time ago.
Hey, look, okay, I'm sorry. School is a pain in the ass. And in America, you have to pay for that shit.
Remember how like 6 months ago you were like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do that video."
Oh, I know. I don't even have an excuse this time. I just shit has been weird and crazy, and I'm a procrastinator apparently.
As long as you procrastinate on videos and not your actual schoolwork, then everything is good. Then
Well, you'll be happy to know that that's exactly the case.
That's good, because that's exactly what's happening with me as well.
So, this website, where should we start? There isn't an About Us section. Or we can talk about whether or not Jesus was an alien.
Yeah, let's see that.
So, like, what do creationists believe?
Well, I think they believe this is pretty standard stuff. The Earth was created 6,000 years ago by God, and there was a flood and something bullshit. Christianity, more bullshit.
Pretty reasonable to me.
Yeah, super reasonable. Oh, we can actually get them to answer it. There is a what we believe section.
Oh, nice.
Thank you.
Well, you know, I find that the best creationist website is the one that tries to not answer questions.
I don't think they're gonna answer. This is probably the only question they're really gonna answer.
Okay, so I mean, because I asked the question, I'll start off reading. Okay, so I mean,
let's zoom in a bit. It's a bit. Let's zoom in. There we go.
Yeah.
Priorities.
Okay, so scientific aspects of creation are important, but are of secondary importance to the proclamation of the Gospel of Jesus Christ as sovereign creator, redeemer, and judge, and potatoes, and you know the rest. So, obviously, this is quite clear. I was joking when I asked what did I believe, because I mean we all know what creationists believe, but it doesn't matter where you go. Like, even though creationism is still quite a small subset of people, there's a very diverse idea of what actually happened during the flood and during the Six-Day creation, all that. It varies wildly. From Kent Hovind's idea that a comet came and made a full of water, from Walter Brown's idea that water came from underneath the crust because of hydroplate theory, and then John Baumgarten thinking that it was a runaway tectonic event. none of these people actually agree with each other, and you'll find that there is quite a big divide, even between just two people, for instance, like Eric Hovind and Ken Roman. There's a divide in what they actually believe, but
And not to I just want to add in that there's the one small sector of people that I'm not going to say you forgot them because they are oft overlooked, but there are the people that think that everything that contradicts anything biblical or whatever is just the devil. That's their blanket explanation for everything that may counteract their argument.
I've actually met someone like that in real life.
I'm sorry.
Kind of
well, so have I.
Actually.
I live in the Bible Belt in the United States, man. I've definitely come across hundreds of those people.
I don't think I'm gonna trump you on that one, but
well, I'm not trying to be the air superior here. I'm just saying, like, it's frequent in my life.
Yeah.
So, Smelly, when is the US gonna get suspenders too? Because I mean, you do have a pretty big obesity epidemic at the moment.
Wait, what was the question?
When are you gonna get Bible suspenders?
We're far beyond the factory-made holes. We're gonna have to start cutting them in soon. Oh, it's okay. Over the fucking break, I'm not too proud to admit that over the break, this last, for school or whatever, because of all the stress and shit that I had going on, I gained like 15 pounds in like almost a month.
Oh God.
So like right now, my average weight. Okay, so I'm like 5'8". I'm 5'8". I weigh in a normal circumstance, I weigh roughly 160, which is above my BMI for my height and age, but I carry it well. I look thin, but I'm not at the weight I should be.
Remember that BMI isn't made for individuals. It's made for an overall population.
Exactly. So 15 pounds added on to me, you can see it. Like it's obvious.
Yeah, well.
How did you put that on?
Yeah, so
snack foods.
Even though
studying late and eating ramen.
Even though I enjoy
not enough coffee, that's how.
While I'm talking. Even though I enjoy talking about Smelly's fat ass. Whatever.
Hey, fuck you. You ass.
You brought it up.
The total opposite happens to me when I am back at uni. I just fucking stop eating. I can't eat for the life of me.
Well, I want to know if Jesus was an alien.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say is, all of them, even though they have wildly different theories, the creationists, they all start the same thing, and that is the proclamation of the faith.
Well, I guess there's a whole website apparently.
Am I breaking up for?
No, you're not. Not for us.
Am I breaking up? Like?
No, you're not.
Okay. Because apparently in your Express says I am.
Yeah, just on my side.
Whenever he's speaking,
I can't hear it.
This is the clearest you've been in a long time, and I'm not trying to talk shit, but that's
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because your internet sucks.
Yeah.
It's worse than mine.
Oh God.
And mine sucks.
I mean, I'm in the middle of a third world shithole.
Third world problems, man. I'm telling you.
Yella has a point in the chat. This isn't terrible web design. It actually looks
decent. This is the first time I can actually admire the capabilities and the just overall ability of their webmaster. Very nice. Gonna have to give you a little golf clap for that one.
Let's find out if Jesus was an alien.
Oh,
the most important question to ever haunt mankind. What if Jesus is an alien? How can we show just how ludicrous the alien Jesus conspiracy really is? Jan, how do you pronounce that name?
Jan.
Jan?
Jan.
L. Apparently he doesn't have a last name. It's just L.
Definitely wouldn't be a year. It would be a J because it's Australia.
from Australia writes, and there's a fine text box.
Okay, I actually kind of want to read this, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this particular conspiracy is discussed here, but some people make the outrageous and ridiculous claim that Jesus was merely an alien and not the Son of God, pointing out his various... It's so hard to read this. I don't know why. Miracles and resurrection as proof that he was an alien visitor. Okay, so that's redundant. You already said he might be an alien. Okay, that's why it's so stupid. Apart from the impossibility of the existence of aliens, what the fuck are you fucking mad? It's more likely that aliens existed than Jesus.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
And the infallibility, inerrancy, and inspired nature proving that he is what in the fuck are you talking about? What would you say to these people? I would say to the people that think that Jesus is an alien, honestly, my first thing I'd say was, you're probably right.
It makes it's more sensical than Jesus existing and being the Son of God. We know life exists, we don't know God exists.
So yeah, to the person that thinks that Jesus is an alien, sure. Alright, yeah, I could give that at least a passing thought.
It could make for an interesting sci-fi novel.
Look, given that God says to cure leprosy, you need to smear the blood of a bird on you, kill a lamb, and then smear his blood on you, and then kill one bird as a burnt offering, and then release the other one. Yeah, that sounds like some alien-ass shit to me.
Ancient alien technology.
The more
hey, listen here, Giorgio Tsoukalos. But who wants to read Aliens and the Gospel?
CMI's Sean Doyle responds. There are several reasons beyond the one you mentioned for why the Jesus is an alien idea is a ludicrous conspiracy theory, as opposed to the Bible, which is totally sane and not at all full of shit.
I'll refer you back to the cure for leprosy.
Yes.
Well, I mean, Jesus might have been a green man. I mean, coming back after 3 days of being dead.
AMC's The Walking Jesus.
The fact that you had to put the channel name in there just makes it so more believable.
Well, come on. It's like at the beginning of every episode, they're like, now enjoy AMC's Walking Dead.
And they're just, well, that was a good announcement because we just have Rhetoric&Discourse join this ridiculously strange stream.
Meow!
Hey, Rhetoric, did you know that the idea that Jesus was an alien is a ludicrous conspiracy because of the Bible?
Oh, the Bible.
Yeah.
Because the Bible is so not ludicrous and so full of rational thought and normalcy.
Thank you.
I love that Rhetoric just jumped straight in, just right into the deep end with some of that straight up grade A philosophical insight.
well, he is a seasoned debunker. He's used to being in the deep end.
Yep. I do love that. I love Creation Ministries International. They are like one of my favorite fucking websites ever. They have one of those like they have like chick track like things because everyone likes to jump on the chick track wagon. So they do have tracks and stuff that you can print out and hand to friends and stuff. And they also have like a question evolution like track with like all these questions that evolutionists can't answer.
Let's are they free? Because we could try and answer them.
I think they are free. I think I can't type. So my batteries in my keyboard are dead, so I don't have a keyboard today.
Oh my god. Okay, real quick. At the end of this, it says, "See, can we know anything about the past? A review of Jesus Before the Gospels by Bart Ehrman." I want to remind everybody that Bart Ehrman was actually turned away from his faith. He's not an atheist, he's an agnostic, by trying to be the most historically and scientifically factual person trying to exonerate the gospel. He was actually turned away from certain parts of his faith.
And this is actually I don't think it's not the article isn't by him. It's just
no. They just reference it. They're referencing it. Yeah. But his book, oh shit, it's the book about Judas. I forget what the name of it is. That book is fucking awesome. It's about the Gospel of Judas Iscariot, I think is what it's called.
Well,
yeah, it's great. I love Bart Ehrman. His writings are awesome. He's a great writer.
My turn to read. Am I reading the highlighted bit?
Yes.
All right. The alien Jesus idea. Wait, whose idea was that? I'm starting to stop already, but who actually had this Jesus is an alien idea?
Well, I think it's kind of like the fluoride shit. Like, nobody knows where it came from, but we're pretty sure a lot of people believe it.
Oh. Okay, I can live with that. Okay, the alien Jesus idea has only one thing supposedly going for it that other failed naturalistic ideas don't. It seemingly explains Jesus's miracles. But okay, and how?
Because you definitely need to explain things before actually showing that they happened.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Well, yeah, you know.
I'm also not sure how being an alien makes you miraculous. Like I'm an alien, like
not
American,
not that kind of alien.
Like, I don't fucking. I can't walk on water. Granted, would have made crossing the Rio Grande better.
No, a space.
Well, not to keep jumping on the Bart D. Ehrman thing, but in the book, The Gospel of Judas Iscariot, it actually talks about how Jesus may be an alien. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, he came from the mythical land of Barbelo, and he will return there one day. Like, Judas talks about him as if he is an extraterrestrial.
Oh.
Just fuck it. Everybody needs to go read The Gospel of Judas Iscariot by Bart D. Ehrman. It's fucking awesome. It's a great book.
All right.
Oh
God. There's our picture today.
That sounds like a weird use of your time.
But I just think it's kind of funny that they reference him later on when the very same man, wrote a book that kind of paints Jesus as a fucking alien. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one that finds any humor in that, but I think
I think it's.
It's just weird. And then the book that they're referencing came out before The Gospel of Judas Iscariot, of course, but still, it's just one of those things that, like, did they just avoid that book or what?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like there's quite a bit
what the whole cherry picking's about?
If
you really think about it, the moment God ascended when Jesus ascended to the heavens, he did so on a flying saucer. I mean, come on, guys.
Freudian slip.
I know you said that he flew up on a cloud, but I mean, if you look at any of the SpaceX launches, I'm not sure why I just said SpaceX, not just rocket launches in general.
Because SpaceX, they've gotten into your brain why they're advertising.
Yeah.
Look, if Elon Musk can strap his sports car to a rocket and send it into space, goddammit, Jesus can hitch a ride on one of them.
Get back to that, because a lot of people...
My God, I just pictured some sort of sexy Jesus riding a rocket to space.
A lot of people ask me, ask me if I think it's a stupid idea to send a car into space, and I think it's a brilliant idea, but I'll explain my reasoning after. But so a rocket that goes up has a tail of cloud behind it, and obviously we know it's rocket exhaust.
Yes.
Well, I mean, the old people say, it's fucking cloud because
it's chemtrail.
See, so I mean, it makes perfect sense. All the things they show in the Bible would definitely point to Jesus being an alien.
I like
the heavens.
I like how we can actually argue, like, even though both ideas are fucking stupid, both Jesus existing and him being an alien, we can actually argue for the alien idea better than you can.
Well, because look, for all we fucking know, there are, now, I don't want to feed any conspiracy theories, and nor do I believe any of this shit, but I'm saying a rational mind through jumping through all kinds of hoops and forcing themselves to think shit, could come to the idea that we are constantly being watched by an extraterrestrial race that is far more technologically advanced than we are. So from that starting point, which
You're
I know
talking
that's
about
not a
cats,
good
aren't
starting
you?
point. But from that jumping off point, it doesn't seem like that far of a stretch that they would send an emissary down to Earth. I think that's the right word. I can't really...
If people ask, yeah, but if they're so intelligent, why would they concern us with humans? I mean, have you ever played Sims?
Why the fuck do we try to make bacteria do shit? Why do we do anything under a microscope, for that matter?
You sit and play with little characters in Sims. I mean, it's super entertaining, and I guess that's what the aliens would do as well if they had that power. I mean, why not?
Yeah, it's curiosity.
Exactly.
It kills cats. Boom! I brought it back to cats.
The thing is, like, all of this.
Cats to begin with.
Well, earlier Neurectoblast asked me if it had something to do with cats.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
So
yes, it does. Yes, it does is the answer. Like, all of this reminds me of, like, all those, like, fan theories about their favorite books. Like,
oh yeah,
that's theory. Like, this is just Jesus fan fiction. Is
that
all we're sitting around doing.
That already exists. It's called the Book of Mormons.
Yeah. Well, the book of that's more like 50 Shades of Grey of the Bible.
Fair enough.
But this is like what we're doing is like legit like creepypasta level fan fiction, like sort of, you know, just crap instead of, you know, actually getting a book published. But that's all it is. It's just fan fucking fiction. Like, oh, let's try to fill in all the plot holes in our favorite Star Trek episode.
Well, do you think? Okay, yeah, that's a good point. But you know, but then he goes on to say, but there's an absurdly large cost for affirming this, and it's like, what? Like, because it would be easier to come up with the most, you know, tenuous evidence that Jesus was an alien based on the Bible itself. That wouldn't cost us shit. I mean, fuck, you could go into a hotel anywhere in America and steal a Bible, and they don't charge you for it. As a matter of fact, they put those Bibles in there under the assumption that you're gonna fucking take them. It's already built into your cost of the hotel room.
In other words, you can deface them as much as you want.
Yeah, that is also true. I wouldn't, you know, out of respect for somebody that might give a shit about the Bible, I don't ever touch them, but that's an option.
I really hide them.
I'm actually with Smelly on that one for some reason. Maybe it's because I'm weird, just like him.
No.
Well, you know, I mean,
a little about it.
I only care to argue with people about their beliefs and ideas whenever they contradict known scientific evidence. Now, there isn't really a lot. I used to be the, you know, your atypical atheist that would argue with anybody that believed in God.
I just picture a bear with a fedora now.
Smoking an e-cig.
It sounds like the typical American atheist where religion is relevant. Here it's just, I don't think you have those discussions.
Well, yeah, that's exactly what it is. America.
I mean, that's why you're not so confrontational, because it's just like nobody cares.
But then again, if you look at other countries, specifically like anywhere in the Netherlands, you know, near the Netherlands or Denmark or Sweden, anywhere in the Scandinavian countries, really, y'all don't have like a strong, pervasive, like religious influence that kind of takes its hold and tries to exert its power. We have people like that lobby on Congress specifically for religious groups to get certain legislation passed through, like lobbying. I guarantee, if I had to put a guesstimation on it, I would say at least 30% of them are out there lobbying for a specific religious group or interest. And those motherfuckers win because money is power. Who holds the power is those who hold the purse, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
At least in the United States.
Yeah, and the shit that they try to pass isn't like benign shit like prayer in school. It's like, oh, let's make exceptions for kids to not have to get vaccines. And,
yeah,
you know, die.
In the UK, they make it to where on the news they have to have the opinion and then the assenting opinion, at least for fair balance. Well, in the United States, the only place we try to put fair and balance is by teaching kids creationism alongside evolution. And that's fucking bullshit. Because one has scientific evidence and the other one has one, 12 or 1,500-year-old book. Fuck that.
Don't mind me. I'm currently putting a fedora on Smelly's logo.
Oh, God. It's okay. You put me in a keyboard for me. I like that. You replaced the Linux penguin on my...
Yes, I did.
WASD. Yeah, dude, I love that picture.
No.
But I actually spoke to a child. Like, I spoke to a friend of mine's brother. He's like 12 or 13, I think. I'm not real sure. And his school district is one of the districts that has to teach creationism alongside evolution. Yeah, because by the way, that passed in Texas.
Of course
it did.
It's Texas.
Yeah, it's fucking Texas.
Now I don't know if that's like a mandatory thing for every district, but I know that there are certain districts out here that do that.
Ta-da!
Oh, that's adorable.
Aww.
That's so awesome.
Now you gotta put an e-cig.
Also, yes, there exists a drawn version of all of Smelly's positions.
Oh yeah, I'm about to start using them. They're actually, I am very close to finishing this video. Look, here's my excuse. Math is hard. I have to do extra studying to pass math classes, okay?
What maths are you doing right now exactly?
I'm doing my second year of college algebra, or my second semester of college algebra.
I asked what maths, not what level of maths.
Okay, so it's like, basically it's Introduction to Advanced Geometry is the second semester of algebra.
Oh, so basically just linear algebra.
Well, yeah, a lot of linear algebra.
I wouldn't say just more intermediate.
Well, it's like
algebra.
This semester has been following like polynomials, like binomials, trinomials, and all that bullshit, and then a lot of fucking linear equations, like Micro said, and then the other thing that they seem to be focusing on is like missing value equations. Where you have to work backwards.
Yeah.
To get mixture equations. We've been focusing a lot on those.
What about the most holy thing, the most beautiful thing in mathematics, and that's calculus integration?
Fuck you. Fuck calculus. Fuck the last end of trigonometry. Fuck the math of a square. Fuck the math of a triangle. Fuck the math of a circle. Fuck all of it.
My favorite mathematics class I've ever had was multivariable calculus in second year. It was just amazing.
I took a non-credit course for advanced linear algebra, and I actually really liked that class. It was linear algebra in 3D space.
Linear algebra is. I love the fact that linear algebra sounds so easy just because there's a word linear in it.
Oh yeah, but it's really fucking complicated.
Linear algebra is very useful in so many things, especially.
There's a quiz.
Calculation.
Oh my god, we have to take this quiz.
Oh my god, what's that about?
Oh, nice.
I don't give a shit. The title of it is "Read 15 Questions for Evolutionists," and we all believe in evolution.
Oh my god, is it gonna sort us by like or
Let's
boyfriend?
find out.
It's gonna tell you your favorite kind of avocado based on the answers of this question.
How did life originate?
How did life originate? Which of the following best describes the origin of living cells? Spontaneous generation of living cells from non-living materials has frequently been observed. The chemical compounds of cells are relatively simple. It's easy to visualize their formation. While functional proteins are relatively large molecules, their generation by random combination can occur in the Big Bang.
Oh my god, did they really?
None of the above.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with none of the above.
Yeah, we got that one right.
Yeah, none of the above. Because the other ones are bullshit. That's none of them actually describe the modern ideas
How
about
did they manage
abiogenesis.
that?
Yeah,
How do you manage to
nice.
not understand so much?
It's easy. It's easy. You don't try to learn it. It's easy. You just ignore the actual,
It's like no, it's not
evidence.
even like they don't try to learn. It's like they actively try to learn the wrong version of it.
Yes.
Well, mine was just a joke, but yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. They're going out of their way to not ever learn it.
Well, we all agree none of the above.
Yep, none of the
Yeah.
above.
That probably makes us a creation.
How did the DNA code originate?
Oh my god.
Someone doesn't know. No, there's no such thing as the DNA code. There's the genetic code, which is the system used to encode for amino acids. But the DNA code isn't a thing.
DNA.
I don't want to point out
DNA is written.
DNA is not a computer language. It's not a programming language.
But it's really funny because it's like we human try to use an analogy and we're like, oh, it's a bit as though it's a code, right? And then because we say it's an analogy to a code, we're like, oh, that's a code. You know?
Well, okay.
Yeah.
So in a sense, DNA could be described as binary because the way that the amino acids are arranged could signal or indicate a gene being turned on or off. But there's 4 fucking nucleotides that go into this, and if we're talking about RNA, you replace it with uracil, and it's like all of this shit is like definitely so much more complex. No, it's not. It's absolutely not.
Which statement best describes the DNA code? DNA is a simple language system. I mean, if you want to use it as a language, it's not that hard.
It would be a very simple language, but
you wouldn't be able to speak about anything other than proteins.
Yeah, you would have 4 expressions, and you'd be able to express them in only so many ways.
Well, no, you would have. Well,
technically, you'd only have 2.
Well, no, you could use it as a language. It's just that all you would be able to say are the names of proteins. The codes of proteins.
Technically, the 4th one is right.
That's what I'm saying.
The origin of DNA is not important to the discussion of evolution. It's technically right. I mean, even if some alien put DNA there,
but also
you can still have evolution afterwards. So it's not important to the discussion of evolution.
But also the origin of DNA and the origin of the DNA code. I'm assuming they mean the genetic code here.
Yeah.
But they're just stupid. The origin of DNA and the code used aren't the same thing.
Well, also saying DNA code.
I really understand that.
Well, using DNA and code, you're using 2 things that people have a general they have a general idea of. Like when you start using words like genetics, people tend can any of us honestly say that in one sentence we could describe genetics to a 5-year-old?
No.
Why
would I try to use one sentence to describe an entire field?
But I can describe what DNA does in one sentence to a 5-year-old, and I can describe what a code is in one sentence to a 5-year-old. That's how I kind of think of things. Whenever I read anything like this, I think of it in terms of, could I explain it to a 5-year-old in one sentence?
The chemical properties of DNA letters, provide the meaning for the DNA language. That's just nonsense. How
do you provide meaning for a chemical?
Even if you want to go with that, fuck that, this is just bullshit and a weird way of putting. Even if you want to go with it, no, the chemical properties of DNA play a role in it, but it's also all the other chemicals interacting with it.
Yeah, it's not just one thing acting alone. It's how it acts in conjunction with other things.
As all known coding systems are the product of an intelligent designer, begging the question, the DNA code can also be postulated to have resulted from intelligence. Hold on, you can't first say that all known coding systems are the product of intelligent design, and then use that to say that this one probably also is. But
that's exactly the same problem as I said. We come up with this analogy. Oh, it's almost like it's a code, and then we assume it's a code.
Yeah, because again, Because again, the reason why we use these terms is because whereas they relate to the mind of somebody who isn't, professionally versed in these sort of ideas and, how they mean in a scientific context. Again, DNA or code are both ideas that you could describe in few sentences to a 5-year-old, Like we say it's a code because codes are easy to understand. A code is something that
it's a way of understanding it.
That's how people come to think that a black hole is, that's why people tend to think that a black hole is just a giant space vacuum, because in a sense, that's probably the most simple way to describe it to somebody without having to get into the theoretical side of anything,
But yeah,
I don't know, maybe I'm just...
The bottom one is the correct one here. Well,
yeah, according to this website,
I don't think it's the correct answer from there. Whatever.
It's the less wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the least wrong. Yeah. It's not even wrong,
Oh, God.
How could mutations
create huge volumes of information? It's called gene duplication, you fucking idiot.
Then again, it really depends what they call information, because all the nonsensical material you have in the DNA could be called information, just like...
Well, it is.
Just like any little weird shape you have in the stone could be called information,
I mean,
you can call anything information.
Really, the only difference between the DNA in a gene and the DNA outside is the lack of a start codon and some kind of promoter. The code is still technically there. You could still make a protein out of it. So the information, you can technically say the information is still there. It's just that the cell doesn't access it if you really want to go there with all the information bullshit. I mean, you can okay, the information isn't a property of DNA. It's something we impose on it.
Exactly. Just with calling it a code.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a pleasant, like Micro said, it's just like a pleasant analogy that's, kind of sums it up in the most simple of terms. Because you can make...
Let's see what
I don't think it's been called information anytime in genetic classes, though. But, yeah.
No, I never once heard it in any of my biology.
Yeah, didn't hear it being called information. I just think it's how creationists love to call it, but yeah.
I mean, the only time I can remember bioinformatics, they would probably refer to it as information, but they mean information in a different way than in here.
Well, my biology professor last semester was, about as old as the goddamn pyramids and the Egyptian pyramids.
In fact, he built them.
Yeah. Now when we were talking about
did he build them with Jesus?
No, it was alien Jesus.
Yes, it was alien Jesus.
They were for storing grains and.
But
no, they weren't. They were power plants.
He did use the word information quite a bit when we were talking about genetics. When we were talking about
but he probably didn't mean it in this sense. Let's see what options we have. Mutations regularly involve the increase of small amounts of information. Or large amounts of information considered.
Yeah.
You also can also get the entire chromosomes getting duplicated. Small point mutations occur regularly in the genome, and many of these mutations lead to positive changes in the mutated species. What I'm assuming by positive changes they mean an increase in fitness. Mutations represent errors in the copying of the genetic text. Oh God. There are no example of the types of information gaining mutations necessary to explain microbes to man evolution. Or as everyone else calls it, evolution. Comic book authors shows what science knows. Mutations can result in amazing changes for the better.
What?
Do they legit think that?
I think that answer is in there purely because they couldn't come up with a fourth option. Like they had the other three and were like, what can we put in there?
How do we make this creationisty?
I watched X-Men the other day. So we have to choose one.
I say comic books.
Yeah, let's go with the Ninja Turtles explanation.
I mean, the second one isn't even wrong.
The first one isn't wrong either.
Well, it's not that they're wrong; they're just worded poorly.
I mean,
the thing is, there's so much disbelief that this can be a thing that they don't realize these two are actually right.
And they're kind of the same. I'm gonna go with the top one because because positive changes is a bit of a weird way of putting it.
But wait, I thought we were trying to answer this like we were the perfect creationists.
No, we're trying to answer it correctly.
Oh. See, I've been working under the impression that we were trying to get these all correct from their side. I'm positive
there's been a difference in the genome. Not a positive or negative mutation.
Yeah, most mutations are neutral.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they don't particularly have intent. I mean,
would you say any of them are
cognizant? Like,
it's in relation to the increase of the change in fitness. Let's go with the first one.
Nothing about intention.
It's not too incorrect.
Yeah, let's go with number one. All right, so why is natural selection taught as evolution? What the fuck is
I'm gonna need more beer for this. Be right back. That's retarded beyond belief.
When has that ever been taught as evolution?
By create, because that's how creationists think everyone is taught.
That just sounds like, why is numbers taught as math? Like,
yeah.
But choose the best description for natural selection.
Proven together. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, Micro, you're gonna love this. Choose the best description for natural selection.
Oh boy.
I can't wait.
Also, I'm sorry if I interrupted someone. I hadn't put my headphones on. I just started talking.
Oh no, you interrupted silence.
Oh.
The brief moment of silence.
The first one's so good. It's just that the commentary at the end gets it wrong.
Natural selection is the process whereby individuals best suited for their environment tend to survive, producing more offspring. This process does not explain how new organs. Wait,
oh
what?
My fucking god!
No, you had it right, and then you decided to add some stupid last
fucked it up at the end.
You're right. That's
they give the right one, and then they realize it doesn't sound bad.
Explain the vestigial tail, the appendix. Explain these things, because new organs, sure, but why did we discard organs? Why did we discard things? That's the answer they're avoiding, or that's the question they're avoiding here. What about the things that we don't use anymore?
I mean, technically, it's correct that that natural selection doesn't produce new organs. That's
I was just talking about
the new organs come.
Yeah, it's not natural selection on its own; it's the whole process.
But
natural selection is only the selection part. It's the mutations and genetic changes that.
But you also have to remember
new organs. If you want
this crowd.
But I don't think that's
crowd,
what I mean.
Well, they tend to use the words natural selection and evolution like they're interchangeable.
Well, you can see it right in the fucking title, the title of this question section thing. I mean, natural selection is part of the theory of evolution to explain the fact of evolution.
Exactly.
Let's see what the other.
You can see here that they're conflating one with the other. But anyway.
Natural selection identifies the manner in which new organs could originate and be selected. Okay, now it's.
It kind of sounds as though they mean you're gonna have a child, and this child is gonna have a kidney stomach, and it's gonna benefit him or not.
Natural selection and evolution are one of the
same.
It's
like a whole new organ being born at every generation.
Natural selection allows the development of new traits that will benefit an individual in a population. Kind of want to go with the first one, since that's
The first one, I kind of...
That is the most correct out of all of them.
Yeah, and I could... I mean, I'm sure that's not what they mean, but I could technically
it's true what you
understand.
said about if they just mean natural selection and not the whole mutation thing, then it doesn't explain new traits or different traits.
Yeah, it just explains the frequency of them of traits in the population.
Or it could just mean, the old individuals being killed off,
Well, we have to go with something, I guess.
Yeah, so which one is the least okay.
How did new biochemical pathways originate? Which statement about biochemical pathways is true?
Well, let's find out.
Okay.
New biochemical pathways can easily develop in a stepwise function involving numerous non-functional steps.
I'm not even sure what that means.
I don't think they understand how these work. You see, they're thinking about a whole metabolic pathway, and they're doing the whole exact same thing as they do with, oh my god, how could the eye develop? Because it needed all of the steps to happen at once, otherwise it's useless.
Yeah, it's irreducible.
Well, there's that, what is it, the E. coli that could eat citrate.
Yeah, from the, what's it called?
Fucking Miller? No, not Miller.
No, it's the long-term E. coli evolution something.
Yeah, that study. So that first one isn't wrong, except for that easily part. I don't know what that means. Like easily or difficult seems like a weird.
Well, these are all just wiggle words. Yeah, they're wiggle words. They're words that they're using to paint an image in the reader's mind. It's sort of
citrate.
Here
it is. Hey, let's see.
They're imprinting. That's what it's called.
The multiple enzymes have been observed to develop simultaneously by mutations. I've apparently fucked that sentence up.
It's okay. So did they.
There are no biochemical pathways in which the individual steps function independently and usefully. That's just plain wrong.
Mm-hmm.
The individual steps transform one thing into another thing. By definition, that's useful. That will be useful in some situation.
Yeah, but they're sort of thinking of it in terms like, I bought a brand new car. I, duct taped a hockey puck to the side of it. Now the car is better. Like, it almost seems like that's sort of like.
Now I can play car hockey.
Now I can play Rocket League.
Cars.
Such a cool description.
I glued a goalie kit to my car. Now I can play Rocket League. Like,
lovely.
Oh goodness.
Hey, I love that game. I've been kind of obsessed with it recently.
It's a great game.
It really is, and you can play as the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
If you pay for it.
I paid for it.
I figured.
Well, there's only one way I could have found out, right?
Well, no, you could have found out just by watching the trailer for it or something like that.
Oh, no, I was on the Rocket League little page where you select your cars, and I was like, you can be the DeLorean? So I immediately went and bought it.
It's because of people like Smelly that microtransactions exist.
Yes, I'm not even going to fucking try to deny that bullshit.
That's what I live off of. People don't do transactions to me. I won't get money.
People like Smelly are out there. Build this app. Dude, I spent like $40 on the fucking Simpsons little tap game on iPhone.
Why?
Why?
Well, okay, so first off, I was bored at work. I didn't have anything to do.
You remember the time where you were telling us about how you can't make videos because you're too busy working?
Okay, this was like 3 years ago. This is like 3 years
Lies
ago.
in
You
the
can't.
textbooks.
That's how long we've been waiting.
What's
for
that called? The statute of limitations
Lies in
is
the
up on
textbook.
that one. Look, right now, Jesus, that was incredibly redundant. Now, most of my time is spent trying to understand just what the fuck my chemistry teachers are talking about.
Oh.
It will require an unfathomable amount of luck for biochemical pathways, which precisely program sequences of reaction that think they're supposed to be reactions.
Wait, are we done blaming Smelly for
The
all
thing
the
is-
world's problems yet?
No, to occur by random mutations. That is bullshit.
The four
I gotta
answers
mute
are
myself.
basically the same things. The four answers is them just shouting at us. They can't have happened step by step. I don't believe that. Meh.
I guess I want to go with the first one, but it's kind of not true.
Oh. Yeah, I would go with the first one.
Yeah, the first one, besides that adjective of saying easily, it's
Well,
not
and
really
the
Yeah.
non-functionals. I don't like the non-functional step. I mean, that the non-functional steps was probably true early on in evolution, but at this point, most of the new traits are gonna happen because of a mutation in an already existing working enzyme that changes what it works on.
Yeah, but it can happen in non-functional. It can be non-functional.
Yeah.
But that also assumes that all mutations are positive. Because, I mean, isn't it
Yeah.
mutations that led to people being allergic to things, being, resistant or extremely likely to get a certain disease, like take sickle cell anemia, for instance. These are just things.
You have no idea how many fun genetic disorders there are. I love it because I do cell biology, and a lot of it is cell signaling, which involves a lot of mutations, and a lot of what we know about it is learned from genetic disorders. So in the PowerPoints shown at my lectures, there are a lot of pictures of stillborn deformed fetuses. Fun things where they only have one eye in the middle of their head and their nose is above the eye, and fun stuff.
Yeah, like legit crazy mutations. Yeah,
Yes,
I think I've seen some of those pictures.
Yeah. When I'm
studying the same thing.
But here's the fun thing: when you are at the exam and you have that PowerPoint up on your computer because it's notes basically, the invigilators going around making sure we don't cheat are like old pensioners that don't know biology. So for them, we just like they're just walking around looking at computers with fucked up images on them.
Like they're all a bunch of fucking crazy weirdos.
I deliberately when at my exams, when I'm not using the computer, when I'm not looking at something a specific slide, I turn it to one of the slides with fucked up imagery on just to fuck with them. I'm probably going to hell for it if hell existed, but I can't help it. It's hilarious.
Well, hey, if hell exists, you're going to be there with good company at least.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is all of us are going to hell if it exists.
For fuck's
we'll
sake,
all be there with you.
For fuck's sake, we're probably gonna run the place in about a week.
I don't know yeah, I'm gonna just agree and not say what I was about to say.
Well, let's go with the first one.
Yeah, the first one is the least incorrect.
The least stupid.
Yeah, it's the most not even wrong.
Oh, it's a true and false. It's Boolean territory here. Living things look like they were designed. How do evolutionists know that they were not designed? Because they don't look like they were designed.
It doesn't really look.
And how is that a
like they're
true-false
designed to me.
question?
Living organisms appear to be very simple structure. Sorry, that I need to read that again. Living organisms appear to be very simply structured, which display little evidence for intelligent design. Well, that's
half
false.
of that is right. Because
Yeah, how are we to
they do
say?
display very little evidence of being intelligent.
Oh yeah,
design.
yeah. No, yeah. Sorry, yeah. Let's go with true because fucking. But
Well,
the whole
what
thing
part
is,
of our body? Well, here, what part of the body is labeled with a tiny sticker that says "Not made in heaven"?
if
You know?
living organ, if I like that they don't say organisms, they say living things.
Yeah, they chose their wording very, very.
Very weirdly.
I was about to say like intelligently.
but living things don't look like they were designed, unless they were designed by someone who was retarded.
They were probably designed by a toddler then.
Yeah, for
Like
fuck's
a
sake.
genius toddler, but a toddler nonetheless.
For fuck's sake, just look at the human eye. Our retinas are behind all the wiring.
Look at the fucking trachea and esophagus.
Yeah, we
breathe through the
Nice
same
way to
hole that
choke.
we eat through.
For fuck's sake, the amusement park is right next to the waste disposal.
Yeah, exactly.
Who does that?
At least our feet are crazy far away from our nose, though.
Men have nipples for no fucking reason other than that they that they develop before the sex characteristics start to kick in. The development of primary sex characteristics.
That's so weird.
I still love the that one nerve that giraffes have that like wrap around like the whole length of their neck.
We have it
Yeah,
too.
it's the recurrent
But
laryngeal
ours
nerve.
isn't as ridiculous as a fucking giraffe's.
What's it called again?
Doesn't the hummingbird? Oh, go ahead.
You can remember the name because I don't.
I don't remember the name. I can't look.
Yeah,
it up
but Neurectoblast probably does because he has to learn all the fucking
The name
names.
of the nerve.
Yeah,
It's the recurrent laryngeal nerve.
That's the one.
there we go. Yep, that thing is crazy cool.
Wait, the thing is, it makes sense in fish. Well, in fishes, I should say. Because fishes don't have a neck. The bones that make up your shoulder blades are directly attached to their skull. That's where the evolutionarily came from. So in them, it makes sense. They actually take a pretty short route. But then when you get a neck...
Wait. Fishes have larynxes?
No.
Well, but they have
How
the
can they
nerve.
have laryngeal nerve?
Well, the nerve had to come from somewhere.
Yeah. But it definitely doesn't end up in the larynx of a fish. I think.
Well, okay, no, it doesn't because they don't have lungs. It doesn't make sense to remember. But it still had a function.
That's why it makes sense in them, because they don't really have the same nerve. They may have a nerve that's going somewhere else. But,
Anyways, the whole point is that this nerve goes all the way down to the heart of. I think it's all. Yeah, it's all the way down to.
no, it's all the way down. It goes under the subclavicular artery
Yeah.
and goes back up. And it's
Yeah,
super
it
funny
wraps around the
in
heart.
the giraffe
No,
because
not the
he has
heart,
this
the
fucking
artery.
super long nerve. that's
Even
going-
worse.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And the thing is,
Isn't there a bird that does
it
that
actually
too?
does have a function. I think, if I remember correctly, it does actually communicate to a degree with something. I think.
But what do you mean?
I think it does send nerve signals to the heart or something like that. It has evolved since to actually send messages from the brain to one of I think it's the heart. There is if I remember correctly, there is an export of neurotransmitters
And
down
that's
there.
because it's a mixed nerve. There's fibers
Yeah.
that go back up to the larynx, and there's
Exactly.
fibers that go down to the heart. It's the 10th
So
cranial
it's
nerve.
evolved to be a mixed
So-
nerve later on.
It's parasympathetic fibers
Yeah.
that slow down the heart.
They
So
expel
that's
funny chemicals.
that's useless information.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah,
it's the woodpecker. The woodpecker's
from
tongue.
the fact, well, apart from the fact that I literally just had an exam in it, but fair enough.
Okay, so I was right. The woodpecker's tongue wraps around its brain.
Yes, and it doesn't start out like that.
No.
Wait, what?
Wait, it does? That's crazy.
Wait, show
Yeah,
that.
look it up. Just type in
wanna show it
woodpecker's
because-
brain. Or
And I
woodpecker's
can't spell
tongue.
tongue apparently.
Tongue.
T-O-N. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that second picture. The one with the red outline. The diagram.
Holy shit, look at that.
Yeah, it wraps around their fucking brain.
It
Oh my
functions
god, that's
as a
amazing.
it functions as a kind of airbag, as a cushion. Because
Yeah,
they
to
obviously
stop the brain from rattling around.
Yes. And it doesn't, and if I remember correctly, it doesn't start out like that. It grows up as they develop.
Yeah, because if you look
There's
at
an
it,
angry-
like if you look at it, you'll notice down at the bottom of the cranium, down towards the bottom, back region of it, it like cradles it, like how it has the two strands coming off of the one singular.
Wow, that is so weird.
But it's
And
pretty cool though.
then there's a picture of an angry goose, which is redundant because
Yeah, I
it's,
love it.
Oh shit! You want to see something crazy? Type in pony hoof. Like look at a horse's foot as it's born. It looks crazy as fuck.
wait, as it's born.
Yeah, like a horse right after being born does not have the hoof as we know it, like what you would actually nail the shoe into. Like
Oh.
it's weird. It looks. I can't even describe it. It kind of looks like tentacles, kind of. Here, I'll look it up. I'll tell you what to type in.
Looks pretty normal.
No. I'll.
Are you
You're obviously
talking
not
about the
doing
nail
this right,
thing?
bro.
I mean, it is technically the nails
Yeah,
on
they're
one
technically
of
walking
the,
on nails,
yeah, on one toe.
which is kind of
Okay,
ridiculous.
type in horse hoof at birth. Type in those exact words. Because before the hoof becomes hardened, it's like weird. It looks like crazy as fuck.
Oh my god,
What?
looks like tiny finger weird thing.
Yeah, right? See? Told
What
you.
the fuck?
Oh my god,
Yeah,
it's
dude,
the fingers or something. I
That's
don't even know
fucking
what that is.
creepy.
And then the hoof grows around it like a toe.
It's disgusting.
Yeah,
Wow,
it's fucking
that is
insane.
So weird.
Great.
To-
Now we have to
to put-
make this stream age restricted.
It looks like your mama's fanny.
Tentacle porn all of a sudden. Yeah, dude, there's like some crazy shit in the animal kingdom.
How
that
did
is
they
just,
even
like
walk on that?
blows your mind.
Well, I'm assuming it's kind of soft, and they probably wear it down fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is keratin, so you can probably bend it when it's like that.
Yeah, it probably doesn't grow properly in the, in the womb because it doesn't have pressure.
Something
Well,
like
and
that.
also think about
Got
it.
it.
Why would you want something with giant nails kicking around in an organ inside your body? I mean, evolutionarily, it makes sense to not have an animal known for kicking with a giant fucking sharp nail inside your fucking womb.
No, but
I
seriously,
mean,
these look worse. They look
Yeah.
pointy and shit.
I was about to say.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, no, they're actually
born
soft.
with
They're
a
actually
certain
very
amount of
soft.
nails. We have nails
they're
when
soft.
we're born.
Yeah. Well, they have.
yeah,
to.
but they're not like serrated and fucking huge. We don't
Speak
have
for
basically.
yourself. I was born with glorious, great nails.
Speak for yourself. My dad is Wolverine.
That's not his nails. They go out of his knuckles.
Shut the fuck up. No, I'm just
Also,
kidding.
Also,
How biology works.
Well, if you
also,
remember
exactly
from the way
what
that the
muscles-
goddamn
Exactly what structure keeps them extended when he gets them out? Because
yeah, seriously, and what structure extends them?
also
can't
how
be
does
a
he
muscle.
bend, also how does he bend his wrists?
Yeah, whenever they're
Years of
drawn in.
training.
Like, there's so many questions I have for Wolverine. It's a good thing he's fake. It's a good thing he's not real.
But an even more important question is, how did multicellular life originate? I know the answer. There were some single cells that started cooperating, and then they specialized.
Symbiosis.
Well, kind of.
In that sense. Yeah.
Well, it's not symbiosis.
The way that you described it.
It's no, because symbiosis is with your can't be in a symbiosis with your own species.
I wasn't being literal, buddy. Okay, so the overarching theme for this whole episode has been explaining things in simple terms to idiots.
Idiots being smelly.
Pretty sure that's...
Yes, idiots being me. I consistently make B's and everything, but I am an idiot. Yeah, I'm dying for that A in biology.
In order to explain the evolutionary...
Oh my god! This answer is adorable. Separate cells must decide to work cooperatively, despite having no brain to make these decisions. Like, the spirit of love is working.
Evolution it's like a Hatchimal.
It's adorable that they would think that's what people think.
Wait. How do they think single-cell organisms... Do they think they just, like, wander randomly around and just are?
Yeah. They have their own personal space, and they don't like to interact with other single-cell organisms ever.
How do they think sea cucumbers do anything? They eat their brain as they mature.
Well, I'm pretty sure all of us remember the first lesson in biology that we had regarding cells is that they're all agoraphobic. So
yeah, they don't cooperate very well.
Cells must group together and combine to form elaborate structures and organs, with cells becoming specialized to many different functions. That's not an answer to your question of how... I mean, I guess it kind of is, but that one's true.
It's kind of a fast description. I mean, you're missing a bit of steps.
Well, yeah, okay, but it's not untrue.
It's not untrue. It's just missing steps.
Specific cells need to be reprogrammed to die in order that elaborate structures can be developed. Not necessarily. You could develop them without having involving programmed cell death. It's just that's how it works for most multicellular creatures.
I don't even understand what they mean by need to be reprogrammed.
Well, yeah, that's also a bit...
Do they think there's someone going in and changing the DNA?
Yeah, they're already programmed to...
yeah, there's already
apoptosis is already programmed into it. That's why it's called programmed cell death. With apoptosis being an undercategory of that. Specific cells must decide to work together cooperatively, despite having no brain to make decisions.
I like that one the best.
All of the above.
I like this one. It's cute.
Yeah,
they're all pretty stupid, but at least that one makes me hopeful for the future.
Hey, wait, did Dan fall asleep?
I'm still here.
Probably.
No, he just told me.
What out of my mind because all this organic nonsense.
Fuck you.
Aww. Are we leaving you out, Dan?
It's okay.
Probably gonna. It's creationists. They don't know the difference between evolution and geology.
And then sometimes we do something about crystals and stuff, and then I'm happy. And
I'm pretty sure we can talk about carbon dating in here. Somewhere.
Yeah, what I'm saying.
This is how James Gurney feels whenever Miles starts talking about chemistry, and vice versa.
And how Miles feels whenever they talk about anything that isn't chemistry.
Yeah. His worst thing is pop culture.
Unless it's furries or Balloon Boy.
Oh god.
Yeah, that's true. That's really true.
I kind of want
to... and then there's Buck.
I kind of want to go with all of the above. Either that on the top one.
Hey, does it? Okay, never mind. I was about to ask if anybody knew exactly what number we were on, but there's a counter up there in the right.
There's
Yes,
7.
we
We're
are.
halfway there. I still go with number 3. I think we should do number 3.
Yeah, me too. I'm on the bandwagon with 3 just because I think it's cute.
Okay. I mean, it's not incorrect. It like if you take it literally, then okay. Because we know how we know how they do it without having a brain, which is kind of a weird. It's kind of a weird thing to say considering the brains are made out of cells. Let's go with that one.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Ooh, now it's getting kinky. How did sex
Ooh.
originate? Woohoo! Which explanation?
How did we ever need any use for oogenesis?
Which explanation best describes the evolutionary origin of sex? I can't read today.
That's okay.
But
I can
someone
never
else
read.
read the options.
Sexual reproduction is more advantageous than asexual reproduction in almost every way. And so this is a good explanation for why and how sexual reproduction evolved.
That's not really an explanation of how it evolved. That's an explanation of why it stuck around after evolving.
Well, that's sort of like, hey, how did we, like that doesn't really say anything. You're just comparing two not similar things. Right? Am I wrong? I mean, come on. Think about it.
Yeah,
Asexual reproduction versus
the answer
reproduction.
doesn't actually answer the question.
Yeah.
No, well, that's my point. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make.
But I
mean, they're not related.
I mean, for higher, I guess. I mean, it's sort of. I mean, is this sort of true for higher organisms? Higher multicellular organisms.
What this answer is saying is that we as a species or whatever thought, hey, sexual reproduction would be better, so we're going to change because it's more advantageous. So which one is it? Is it better or is it more advantageous? And it can't be better because it's more advantageous, because one decision would have to have been made, and the advantageous part is sort of a result of what happened.
I mean, the first one is of the three options we have, it's the most correct one, because there are.
Well, let's go ahead and.
There are advantages to. There are a number of advantages to sexual reproduction over asexual, which is why of species on Earth use sexual reproduction in some fashion. They're really the only ones that use asexual. There are a few vertebrate species that do it, but those species tend to not last that long. They tend to die out quickly. And the reason for this is that they're all clones. So
yeah, you don't have a lot of variety to adapt to the environment.
Yes, exactly.
You don't have a lot of opportunities to have mistakes in the reproduction.
Exactly.
Yeah, because sexual reproduction is the bringing together of two separate pairs of chromosomes.
A lot of mutations happening due to crossovers.
Exactly.
Sort of shit.
Yeah,
overlap.
Essentially, to be able to do that, you would have to lower to rather severely impair your error checking mechanisms during cell division, which would cause other problems.
Yeah,
unless you somehow find. I mean, I guess technically you could have you could imagine a system where during meiosis you introduce an extra number of mutations compared to when you do mitosis. But I'm not sure how. Yeah. That only becomes advantageous in the long term after the species that clones itself has evolved. And once that's evolved, it changes very little, so it's unlikely to ever evolve. I think.
Well, yeah, because as any basic high school genetics lesson would teach you, I mean, if you do recessive and dominant, not every single time with the offspring is, one trait going to be expressed over another because it was more advantageous. It's because a more dominant gene took over. Like if you get the what's it called, the fucking
Yeah, but that has
chart.
nothing to do with the gene being advantageous, though.
I know, but what I'm saying, well, that's the point. Like that's the point I'm making. Is like it's not about what genetics were advantageous. It's more about the ones that were expressed more often than not. And that creates mutation. If my mom has red hair and my dad has black hair, what's the likelihood I'm going to have red hair?
Well, here is
50-50. It's 1, 1, 1, and 1. No, 1, 2, 1. That's the ratio.
Well, red hair color is determined by a lot of genes, so it's not a. It's not.
What I'm
Yeah,
saying
not,
is like
can
the
make a
dominant.
simple pun.
There is
not a
no. There
monogenic
is.
thing.
But what I'm saying is, there's the less likelihood. I was trying to summarize what y'all were saying because it was getting rather long-winded. It's basically that there's not a lot of likelihood for mutation if there is one set of genes to draw from.
I'd say we go with the top one. That's the least incorrect.
Yeah, if you forget to, the need for context.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously.
Okay, next.
Oh, Dan, this is sort of geology.
It actually feels like the exams I had, where it's like all of the answers are wrong, but which is the least wrong. Actually,
And why is
did
this?
have exams like that. It's
What
fucking
the
horrible.
fuck is wrong with your exams?
Oh, the point is to break students because medicine.
Oh, right. Because
Yeah,
only broken people can probably do medical stuff, I guess.
I
Dan,
know, so they die
Yeah.
eventually. And
Dan, it's about fossils, so it's sort of geology. It's the overlap between biology and geology. It's something for both of us.
Yeah.
Why don't you read it then?
Okay, so, why are the expected countless millions of transitional fossils missing? Because
you're not looking where they are.
no, not even. Because wait for it. All fossils are transitional.
Not technically true, but fair enough.
What do you mean not technically true?
If you find a baby dinosaur, that baby dinosaur never had any offspring, so it's the end of
Not
that.
transitional.
It's
Yeah.
not transitional. It didn't have babies, so it's not a transition between two other organisms. It's technically true.
My God.
We are all over the map with how pedantic
Can
we
you-
want to be with
can
the
you-
explanations
can you
all day.
not?
Well, that was the most
Whenever
unnecessarily pedantic thing I've
this
heard
argument is brought up, I just think of that episode in Twitterama where they have to, like, the professor has to explain evolution, and then
Oh yeah.
and then
But
he
what
brings
about
up
this
every
one?
time the next transitional fossil, and they're like, "Aha! But no, you don't have the next transitional fossil," and they do that for like, I don't know,
Yeah.
2 minutes.
It's the one where the robots evolve. The
Yeah.
I don't
nanobots.
understand. What is the quote from it? I don't understand evolution, and I don't want my children to either.
And that's why I need to prevent your children from
Yeah.
understanding it.
If you find any dinosaur, no matter what the age, how do you even know if it had fucking children? So, yeah.
Yeah,
all the
I know
fossils are
it's done on a
distribution
species level, but even on a species level, what I said is still true.
No,
Oh
it's
my
not.
goodness! Someone should.
It's not. Unless you want to say that all the fossils where the lineage went extinct, and maybe you can count those as non-traditional,
I mean,
transitional.
anyways,
Paleontology sucks, by the way. It's faking gay, just like other organic shit. Anyways.
Fuck you.
Hey, man.
Despite 150 years of searching, even the alleged handful of traditional fossils fuck off. There is not one
It's really
traditional
shit. I
fossil
can't hear
which would
anything
make
you say then.
fuck off. In fact, traditional fossils not missing from the fossil record. Fossils make up some of the best and most complete evidence of evolution, with traditional fossils being in abundance without dispute. Oh, actually, yeah. See,
Yeah, C. C is...
Both A and B, fuck off.
Yeah, C. There we go.
Come on, it's not both A and B.
Oh, God. How do living fossils remain unchanged over supposed hundreds of millions of years? Spoiler that they don't. In fact, some of them...
and what is a living fossil?
The thing
in
is
fact, some of
about
them,
natural
like,
selection. If the selection pressure didn't change,
Yeah, but
there's
it's...
basically no selection pressure at a specific place, and they just perfectly fitted to the niche. There's
But-
no reason for them to change.
Exactly.
Talking about silicon. in particular.
Yeah, but like the thing is, the things that don't change is the overall body plan and
Yeah,
the
of course, there's
biochemistry.
tiny changes that you can see, but
Actually,
you know.
actually, no. For example, the Twtitter, which is said to be a living fossil because it's the last remnant of. It's not a lizard. It's in another evolutionary branch of the reptile tree. It actually, if you look at its genetics, it actually evolves faster than most mammal species. If evolution did not occur, and if all the animals and plant kinds, were created at one time and lived together, turtles, dinosaurs, oak trees, etc. Yeah, because we needed to know what you meant by living things. Apparently, if you didn't give us examples, we would be lost. Then,
and what about those examples are really specific, except dinosaurs.
And then alongside dinosaurs fossils in the rock layer, there should be fossils of modern still living. Wait, what? What does this have to do with transitional
Are they
fossils?
insinuating? Are they insinuating that in the rocks there should be living things? I can't.
No. Fossils.
Am I missing something?
No, fossils of them.
What?
There should be fossils of modern still living animals.
Oh, okay. All
And
right.
it's-
So never mind.
But the
Maybe I'm
title-
just.
But the title of it has nothing to do with the actual question. The question isn't about living fossils. It's about what we find in the fossil records.
Yeah, and
What they're saying, if basically the Bible was correct, then we should, and like we lived alongside all the creatures, then we should find all of them in the same layer.
That is true.
yeah, but don't we find?
don't.
Yeah, but what we do find are dead things buried and kept away from the elements, and then sort
In
of
different
cast
layers
into a
because
rock.
they weren't.
What we don't find is them all mixed together.
We should be
Yeah.
answering true to this question, but the thing is, it's not
no,
what reality
we
shows.
shouldn't. We shouldn't.
Yes, if
No.
all of them live together and die together, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, technically speaking, well, no, because it says that is the case. So it's saying.
For the first part you have to say true. For the second you have to say false.
And the second part is the question part of it, even though it's not a question.
There is
So-
no question here, though.
I guess.
Yeah,
you have
but what
to
the
put
first
next, I
sentence
don't
is
know.
insinuating, because it says if evolution did not occur, assuming that it didn't, all of the animals and plant kinds
Yeah,
were
but
created
then
at
it
one
says-
time and lived together.
But then it's asked if
Yeah,
that
because they
hypothetical.
say that is the case, then you have to put false.
Yeah.
This question is self-defeating because we
Yeah,
don't
it's
find humans with
ridiculous.
dinosaurs. Like this, that question is entirely self-defeating.
How
It's
did?
probably about that one quote-unquote footstep, you know.
Oh, probably something like that. How did blind chemistry create mind/intelligence? That's not the same thing, but fair enough. Meaning, what?
I'm
Altruism.
just picturing myself with
Altruism,
like a blindfold thing.
selflessness.
a water molecule with a blindfold in some kind of BDSM situation.
Oh, and
Jesus
a tiny
was
cane,
altruist.
because water molecule without a cane.
No,
Doesn't
it's being held up in hydrogen plants during some kind of role play.
Okay, so which of the following is true about the type of morality that can result from a belief in evolution? What the fuck? No one derives their beliefs from
Yeah,
a scientific
And I want
discipline.
the next question to be like, what kind of morality can you derive from gravity?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Fucking scientific theories don't tell you how to live. They're not about that. Under the evolutionary doctrine of survival of the fittest, even the most cruel action can be justified as helping naturals. So what the fuck?
They're not really the same thing.
So, like, the creation is just because of their worldview, think that because they believe crazy shit from books that the rest of us also need to believe crazy shit just because it's from a book?
Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're saying, or what they're implying. Would it be an implication?
B. Evolutionary. Oh, great! This is gonna be good. Evolutionary philosophy has resulted in eugenics teaching in America and to an even more extreme degree in Germany, where unfit individuals were forcibly sterilized, and in the case of the Nazi death camps, exterminated for the sake of what was seen to be the ideal of the human race, which was actually which would actually go against it would, like, if you understand evolution, killing off
we're not gonna have any answer that's good, because the first one is an accusation on stuff that is actually not derived from evolution, and the second one is the same, and the third one is the first and the second. So
it's not really
I'm
a choice
just next without answering it.
No.
Yeah, see, this is one of those ones where it's like you lose either way. It's a lose-lose situation.
Fuck this. Let's just pick one and go with it.
Whatever.
Just to see
We're
the rest
kind
of
of
the
forced
question.
into it. You know what? Let's just say both of them.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
For the sake of
So like, I think if you put the C, then you're like a super Nazi.
Yeah, exactly. So let's just assume that both A and C is an answer to the question, which one of these two make 0 sense?
Yeah.
Holy shit, I just had the dumbest. When you said super Nazis, for some reason in my head, I made it into a commercial for razors. The new Gillette Super Nazi. I don't know why.
I thought of Hitler in a Mario outfit and
Yeah.
Yeah. So we all thought a different thing.
Oh my god! Instead of jumping on Goombas, he's jumping on Jews.
on Jubas. That doesn't work.
Why is evolutionary just so storytelling
tolerated?
Storytelling. It's one word.
Evolution. This is their.
It's the
every time they
hyphen.
just say "just so" story, it's an actual explanation of things, but they don't actually understand the explanation, so they just call it a story.
And they don't understand that there are actual evidence for them.
Oh.
Yeah, but they don't believe the evidence.
Why don't you read for us?
Oh god. Okay.
Yeah. Good luck.
Evolutionary explanations are developed to explain virtually every discovery in nature, even if such discoveries contradict every other notions of evolutionary thinking.
No.
Well, not that I know of. This essentially makes evolution a non-falsifiable hypothesis. What? Okay. For instance, scenarios were created to explain the evolutionary benefits of why males are more dominant and promiscuous than females. What? Okay. But when the opposite was discovered in some species, this explanation was manipulated to explain the evolutionary benefits of that scenario as well.
So
basically, you see different strategies in nature.
Yeah, there are different
because they're in different contexts.
Yeah.
And you explain that.
Can we just acknowledge for a moment that the sentence "this essentially makes evolution a non-falsifiable hypothesis or a theory" in the scientific sense? Can we just admire that for a second?
Yeah, theories still have to be
unfalsifiable means that you can't falsify it. So non-falsifiable, adding the negative.
That's a good catch, Smelly.
Yeah, non-falsifiable. The word they meant was unfalsifiable. Falsifiable means it could be made false. Unfalsifiable means it can't be made false.
Yeah, wait.
So they're basically admitting that it exists as a theory in the scientific sense that it has evidence to back itself up.
Mm-hmm.
They are, in effect, admitting that in some weird way, I guess it's just a slip, they didn't realize it, that they're actually admitting in their own sentence that evolution is real.
Wait, so what's the question here?
I have no idea. I just saw that and I got focused in.
No, the question at this point is a bunch of Christians throwing Bibles at your face until you say okay.
Yeah, but I'm not even sure what option they want us to pick because I'm not sure what they're
The option at this
asking.
point is okay or die.
I think no matter which option we pick, we're going to hell. So
Wait, what? Okay.
You have to put false because we don't believe that we just make up any explanation. Because,
yeah, I'm guessing that's Where are the scientific breakthroughs due to evolution? Many of the most important medical advances were made without the slightest use being made of evolution. Examples include which of the following: vaccines discovered by Darwin's publication before Darwin's publications of his theory of evolution. Yeah, but it's not like we use evolution to predict. The
thing is, in medicine, a lot of stuff you discover that help people, you check that they actually help people, and you use them, even if you don't understand how they work.
Yeah.
So
and then
you do research on it and you discover why it works and you can make even better medicine. But a lot of them are discovered just like that.
What I wanted to say was that we use the CDCs of the world, because I'm not sure what the common term for it is in all countries. But flu vaccines, the reason why you need to have a flu vaccine every year is because the flu virus evolve. And they actually use their understanding of evolution to predict which strains are gonna be
what its next change is gonna be. Yeah.
So the first vaccines they didn't know about evolution maybe, but
now
they know about it and they anticipate which strain of the flu is gonna probably evolve to be the most prominent.
Also,
and that's what they make the vaccine.
Also, the first vaccines were against diseases, against pathogens that don't evolve nearly as quickly as something like the flu.
Yeah.
Anesthetic, discovered by a creationist scientist.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with evolution, though.
Antibiotics, penicillin, discovered by a creationist. And it's not like, hold on, that's...
But I don't really see their point. It's like, you can also cite stuff that have been created or understood by atheists. What's the point being made there?
Hell, you could probably point to a whole lot of things that are created by Muslims, and that's not going to make any of these guys.
Yeah, that doesn't really make any any point.
The theory of the Big Bang Theory, like its concepts, were birthed in the work of what's his name, Lemaitre.
Oh yeah,
there was Lemaitre. He was a Catholic priest. Yeah, Georges Lemaitre. Yeah, and he was a Catholic priest.
Yeah.
So I mean, does it really matter what he was? He was a brilliant mathematician. He knew what he was doing. I don't care what his day job was.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter if that doesn't matter if he's a creationist or not. He probably was.
He probably. For all I know, and I don't really care.
I don't think it was.
I don't think it was.
No,
but
I love how science any less impressive.
Yeah. He could be, and that's great. Good for you that you're just not knowledgeable in that one area, and you are in the medicine area.
Also, I love that it says antibiotics, and then in parentheses penicillin, because penicillin is the only antibiotic.
Of course, it is.
In existence.
Yeah, it's the only antibiotic you can use, penicillin.
Yeah, no other things exist.
Yeah, and especially no other antibiotic created by people who are not creationists.
Yeah, no. Also, I want to point out a little thing called superbugs. multi-resistant
you know those who
strains.
actually evolve.
Yeah, yeah. But that's
Super
not evolution. No,
And
that's microevolution, not macroevolution.
Yeah, haven't you ever watched a Ken
Uh,
Ham lecture? Come on.
And the
Oh,
next
yeah.
one is bullshit. The MRI scanner invented by creationists. No, it wasn't. That's a myth they spread.
Is it really though?
But I guess at this point you just go with what you
I'm gonna
can.
go with micro on that one.
Mark, who create or invented the idea of using MRI scan?
Can't remember, but I know it exists. History. These
Dr.
two
Peter
people.
Mansfeld.
Oh, they got the Nobel Prize for it. I didn't know that. Let's see.
But what does it matter though?
But it doesn't. But I just know it. That's
But
not true.
it's just. I'm curious to know if education, career.
Well, it's probably not gonna say it on here because it's irrelevant.
Private life.
Yeah, nothing there.
But just quickly Google who invented the MRI machine.
Why don't you just
Well,
Control
that's
F,
these two people.
Control F, and type in creationist, and you'll see if it's on the page.
These are not
No,
the two
seriously.
names that are brought up as a creationist.
He went to Queen Mary
Well,
College,
there's no names brought up.
Yeah,
which I guess
just
isn't
do what I
technically a
said.
religious
Google
institution.
create the MRI machine.
No, that's these two people. They created the MRI. They got the Nobel Prize in medicine for it.
Just do what I said.
Who created the MRI machine?
Check his wiki.
Raymond Damadian?
But it really doesn't matter in any way, shape, or form.
Exactly. It doesn't matter.
No, it's completely irrelevant. It's like
Creationism.
That's it. It's irrelevant. I mean, he's a real
Besides,
doctor, and he did
besides
some actual
inventing
work.
the MRI is not
Exactly.
a one-man job, but whatever.
Exactly. But like still, one of the people was a creationist that worked on the MRI machine. So what?
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant, but it
like
was just fun to fact check.
It's like they're saying there's like they're saying, oh, look at us, we made stuff too. That means it's true. Also, I'm not sure why creationist is written in capitals, as if it's an actual, like, it's a religion in itself. So what?
Well, it's just kind of like how Druvila Melchizedek, he's a big proponent of the electric universe theory, and all of his scientists and experts are all like physicians and biologists, and they're trying to explain why the universe is ran off of plasma instead of gravity.
We need.
That's all of it in a nutshell. That's the Thunderbolts project for you, brother.
To me, these lists, it looks like they're saying the flat Earth is true because flat Earther invented sandwich. You know, that really is just as relevant as that.
We need to get a physicist or like someone who, like, obviously both Smurley and Dan are pretty knowledgeable in physics, but we need to get someone on who knows about physics and then do a plasma universe side, because that shit is fucking stupid.
Oh yeah, I don't know enough to actually talk about that. I know like the baseline stuff, and I have a general understanding.
There is this doctor.
But yeah, we definitely need to.
I know about. That'll be a good addition to the show.
Dude, fuck yeah! Hey, type in see if the Thunderbolts
Dan,
project has a website.
Shut up! Oh my god!
I don't know. I didn't actually hear what he said. I just was thinking about my thing.
Oh my god! I know exactly who he's talking about.
If you guys had heard,
It's a
there
joke.
was this weird noise you could hear in the background outside. That was actually the sound of Rectopus cringing because of the very thought of this particular guy I'm talking about.
Anyways,
is it?
what options should we pick?
Smelly, I'll DM you later all about it.
I kind of want to pick the first one. No, actually, let's pick the anesthetics is probably the one where
anesthesia was not discovered by one person. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Well, okay. If you ignore that it says that it was discovered by a creation scientist, as if that mean creationists are relevant in any way, and it's one person, which one of them has the least to do with evolution? It's either anesthetics, anesthesia, or the MRI.
I say we go with the MRI.
Yeah, because the
let's go with MRI because
anesthesia could theoretically.
I mean, anesthesia, yeah, or pain system did evolve, so
yeah,
that has.
Yeah,
but the MRI
is a purely physical it's a physics thing. So let's go with that.
Oh my God! Do we really have to read this?
Yeah.
There's only one more question.
And because you said that, you get to read it.
Motherfucker. Why is evolution a theory about what? Why is evolution a theory about history?
It's not a theory about
It's not
history.
like the same thing as like.
I don't think they understand the definition of history, though.
Well, I mean, with King Richard,
evolution is definitely not about the times we were able to write what happened to us, but yeah.
I mean, the evolution would happen in that period, but it's nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why? It's not a theory about history. It's a theory. It's a theory about like a change in organisms.
It's a
history is a variable, but it's not like the most.
It's a theory.
Okay, it's a pretty
unless there's some sort of medieval evolution field that I don't know about, but
there isn't.
Well, back when they were bloodletting, they did have many scholarly books talking about evolution in some way. Get it? Because it's like the Dark Ages.
Yeah, it was like the evolution of demons.
That joke had levels. So
evolutionary levels.
Ooh. Taught as if it was the same as operational science. What? Like, we all know Ken Ham's idea of
the whole
historical science
and
versus
experimental
operational
science.
Yeah, see, I knew, I had a feeling it was going to circle around to that somehow. Okay, so the atheist and prolific science writer Stephen Jay Gould once said that biology without evolution is like chemistry without the periodic table. And then a link to, I'm assuming, an argument.
That is true. Nothing in biology makes sense except in the light of evolution.
So creationists are regularly accused of being anti-scientific because they do not accept the evolutionary explanation of origins. Such accusations
it's not an explanation of origins. It's an explanation of it depends on what the origins of what. It's not the explanation of origin of life. It's the explanation of origin of diversity and species.
Yeah,
it's the name of the book.
Such accusations are effective Oh, go ahead and direct the bus. What are you gonna say?
What I don't understand, right, is even assuming that we just popped up in existence like that, like the organisms, we just popped up like that. What mechanism is there to prevent evolution from happening?
It will still happen.
Yeah, there's still mistakes when when the DNA is written. So what's preventing it?
You wouldn't even have to have mistakes when you could theoretically have a perfect copy system, but the fact that you have some kind of diversity, you're gonna get evolution because you're gonna.
There's no system that's preventing that to happen. So I don't get why they wouldn't go even.
Yeah, it's a direct consequence.
Even if they were creationists and they believe that's whatever we popped up there 6,000 years ago, how could they not understand that evolution happened from there at least?
Well, they're about to try to explain that. So, such accusations are effective tactics by evolutionists because the public generally doesn't realize or understand the difference between origin science, right, and operational science. See, that feeds into exactly what you were saying. Yeah, exactly. But, so, continuing on, with origin science being strongly influenced by philosophical presupposition. What the fuck?
Presumptions.
Yeah, well, no, I know what a
Or-
I know what a presupposition is. It's supposing, before you understand, and it's ridiculous to say that because we only make these. We come to these conclusions based on the evidence, not the other way about.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it doesn't make sense to me, because we're not presupposing. We're actually building off of something that is being done physically. So it is an operational science. I mean,
I'm
we
not
don't
even sure
just...
what they mean by that.
Me neither, but I'm trying to, at least put myself in their headspace for a second and think that they're trying to conflate the idea that we just sort of like farted this out one day. We're like, oh shit, this is going to make a good story, but that's not at all how it happened.
One day, Darwin woke up and decided to write a book.
Yeah, right? Darwin saw things that piqued his curiosity, and then he studied them for a long time, and then he wrote a book about it. That's kind of, in the most basic and simplest terms, how it happened. It wasn't he wrote a book and then tried to find it. He found the similarities and differences and the changes and variation and then wrote a book. Like if we're going to try to explain around their little bullshit. Yeah. But anyway, so origin science has nothing to do with the type of science that fights diseases and sends man to the moon. Well, no fucking shit. Well, actually, one is essentially the same goddamn thing.
Considering origin science doesn't actually exist, it doesn't really have anything to do with that, does it?
But let's assume that they're talking for a moment just about evolution, because understanding evolution would help us fight diseases. Going back to our flu our flu example we used earlier, but in sends man to the moon, they're two completely different fields. Astrophysics and physics of flight, well, just physics in general, versus biology, they're not, on a basic level, maybe they help explain one another, but they are not the fucking same thing.
Let's see.
It really would be a one-way street on that.
It definitely helps us fight disease. Otherwise, we're just like, if we were completely oblivious to evolution, we would just like, there's an infection, we would give broad spectrum antibiotics to everyone.
Yeah.
We wouldn't give a fuck. But we don't, because when we do that, then we have multi-resistant diseases.
Yeah. So it actually is involved in it.
Because it is evolving, it's changing the way that we treat patients.
Exactly. But then they go on to say, now this directly is connected to the idea of evolution itself, which involves repeatable. Again, we can't repeat evolution in a fucking lab in the way that we, had come from the ancestors of apes and etc. But I'm
we
saying,
do, just with bacteria and stuff where we can see it
but on the small scale, they're gonna. But then again, we have their wiggle around that we mentioned earlier, which is that's microbiome. That's microevolution. That's not evolution on a large scale.
Because that doesn't make any sense.
But I'm playing devil's advocate and thinking in the way that they would, because they're actually, I know, right? They're thinking in the sense of like they want monkey to man, like that's what they're talking about.
We are kind of monkeys. We're apes.
Well,
No,
you're trying to be pedantic,
but the problem is, but then they want us, in order to prove evolution right, they want us to produce something that is not evolution.
Yeah.
But testable experiments and observation, but that's sort of going along. They just want us to be able to do certain things that take that variable, time.
So again, I'm not sure what the question they're asking is. I'm not sure what I'm actually saying true or false to.
In there, they were trying to cast doubt on the theory of evolution, saying that
they're saying evolution is basically not science like the usual science we think of.
Yeah, because we can't reproduce it in a lab.
So the answer is false.
So the answer is false.
God.
Yeah.
Last question. If you can't teach religion in science classes, why is it all God? Identify evolution as statement.
Because evolution
isn't a goddamn religion.
There's a common claim that creation is is religion and evolution is science. However, both views contain corresponding metaphysical assumptions about origins. The creationist view includes the possibility of supernatural events, which is something we've never seen, whereas evolution excludes that possibility, which makes sense because that's something we've never seen. This makes both views religious. No, it doesn't. One of them is based in faith that supernatural events can happen. The other one is based in things we actually know, which isn't religious.
It's based on
metaphysical assumptions includes a scientist's explanation of origins, except that everything you can't do science without having some kind of metaphysical assumptions. Like you can't you have to have some kind of metaphysical assumptions to think. That's like everything has that. But if you want to go with that, then fucking religion.
You do have paradigms that you have to start with. You have to believe that the nature is real and that you can test it with your senses.
Yeah, exactly.
So you do have these metaphysical beliefs.
But that's not what makes
something
a religion.
But that's about where it ends. No, they're just changing the definition of religion because they think if they call that religion, then haha, gotcha there.
Because,
it doesn't.
What it actually means is that everything is a fucking religion.
Yeah, basically eating cereals is a religion now.
Oh, that's a good religion.
I agree.
Yeah, you can have a daily service. We can have daily worship every time you eat cereal. Oh, you can have Christmas cereal.
That's America's favorite religion.
Yeah, Christmas cereal.
Cereal religion. The breakfast religion. Who's got some bacon?
The creationist view allows the possibility of both natural and supernatural explanations of the origin and history of nature, whereas the evolutionary view excludes supernatural explanations.
The creationist view, to start with, there was something supernatural that created us. So,
this allows
the possibility for
more freedom to search for the. I'm not sure. I guess that's technically true since you're not bound by stupid dogmatic religious ideas.
I would also argue that creationists don't allow for the possibility of natural explanations because they bat them away every time.
If you start with it was something magical, then
God, she is retarded.
Yeah. So I would say that creationists don't want a natural explanation; they just want the supernatural one. So this idea that they want both is stupid. Or accept both.
Well, I guess.
Well, but again, that circles back to faith, though.
I guess they do allow natural things as long as it goes along. It doesn't contradict them.
Well, yeah, they what's that? Confirmation? Like they just want to have that.
Yeah.
Confirmation bias. They just want they want the facts if they back them up. They don't want the facts if they fucking like you said.
But I would argue that they'll accept natural explanations as long as it doesn't contradict them. The problem is that natural explanations always contradict.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So there aren't any natural explanations that actually align with creationism.
Yeah.
Unless like very benign shit that doesn't really matter. But
like the fact that gravity exists or something.
Yeah, like that's a natural explanation we can all get behind. But
or that DNA exists. Science should be a search for truth, no matter what the truth may be, even if it involves supernatural explanations. Two things. First of all, science doesn't search for truths. It searches for models that accurately predict the natural world. And secondly, by definition, by dealing with the natural world, science excludes the supernatural. You can't use science to study the supernatural because that's not part of what science is.
Because, the supernatural can't be tested because it's not interacting with natural. That's why it's called supernatural.
And even if you say that somehow it can interact with the natural, it's not doing it according to any kind of internal, like, consistent
But the thing
system.
is, if it was interacting with the natural world,
Yeah.
then you could measure it. It would have an effect.
and then it would
Then it
automatically
would no
be part
longer
of the
be
natural.
supernatural.
Yeah. So,
Whoa, dude, that was trippy.
I mean, I guess
I'm gonna go with the first one because, I mean, they're just making their definition as they please because it makes them feel good, but it doesn't really change anything.
Yeah, they can call it religion no matter what they want. That just means that you now have stupid religions and clever
Yeah,
religions.
That's just making the world a little dumber, but if they want it, sure.
I mean, I wouldn't be. A B is also I kind of like B too. If you go with the assumption that what they mean by more freedom to search for the truth about origins is that they say you aren't weighed down by stupid dramatic religious ideas, which I know they're not. Or we can go with D, both A and B.
I just want it to be over.
Well, almost. This is the last.
Yeah, I just want to know what we got. So let's take this one seriously and say both A and B. Let's just do that. We'll take the salt with our sugar.
Oh no! We totally failed.
We're stupid.
Yeah, but we got 3 right though.
We're stupid creationists, or we're stupider than creationists.
Nada. How hover over each answer
and then
each result to see the correct answer and explanation.
The simplest living cell is a complex factory of machinery and engineering. There's great throw engineering in there. Just that's not begging the question at all. There's no known mechanisms or even a working theory by which spontaneous generations of any hypothetical cells could possibly occur. Well, no, but no one believes that that cells spontaneously generated.
Okay, so can I point something out that's bothering me? What is nada in reference to? Like, nada means nothing. So
yeah, wait,
nothing. You scored 20%. What?
I don't know. It's a creationist website.
They're just trying to remind us that after we die, we're nothing.
You are nothing. You scored 20%. And it said in that fucking voice. That voice. I don't know.
Okay, I don't really feel like going through. We've probably already talked about all the things here, and we're coming up towards the end. And this has actually been kind of fun because
I've missed hearing Dan's voice. I've missed it so much.
We're sorry, Dan, about that.
Dan, we promise next week we're gonna. No, fuck him. He's gonna go back and rewatch the end of this, and we're gonna have not said it, and we're gonna feel bad. So damn it, Dan. Next time, there's gonna be a rock website. All right, we're gonna find a rock website for Dan. We're gonna find some crazy creationist geology website, and it's just for you, bro. Just for you.
we can. There's probably some creationism, some geology shit on this website. We can just do about.
Oh my god, guys, the boy is right. We did spend less than 80% of the time on tangents.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Holy, hey, golf claps all around. Golf claps. Yeah, there we go. We did it.
But I mean, we can always do a part 2 and look at some of the. I'm sure there's some.
There's plenty of geology nonsense.
Yeah,
they do all the clock stuff. Like you can't trust. Fucking.
What do you say then? Do you want us to do that next time?
Oh yeah, of course, that would be cool.
Okay, so then this would be a 2-parter.
I'm just happy as long as the.
There's a Did Life Come to Earth from Outer Space?
No, it didn't.
Panspermia? Isn't that what that's called?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the commenters in the watchers also enjoyed it. So that's pretty cool.
So
how many people are watching us right now?
8.
8.
Thank all of you. I mean, most of y'all are the ones that come back every week, but still, we love you guys.
Aw.
Okay, I
As long as there's
this
2 people, I'll keep doing this.
fuck it. I don't care if people watch. It's cool that they do.
Shut up! Oh
fuck
my
it.
god!
No,
You
no,
just
no.
chased them away!
No, it's cool that it does, and I appreciate that they do. But to be fair, we would probably be both sitting around doing this kind of stuff anyway.
Yeah,
Really,
and
it's
it's
an
good to
excuse
have
for
a.
us.
Yeah, I mean, it was
What if,
fun.
what if taking a look at one day gets a lot of subscribers? What would we do?
We would
same
enjoy the
thing we
fuck
do
out of them.
now.
We would enjoy the fuck out of them, and we would interact with them as we always do.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we haven't really interacted that much this episode.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to jump off the second we say our salutations. I'm gonna have to jump ship because I gotta.
I renamed this episode. I put a parentheses where I wrote part biology, and next time we'll do a part geology.
Yes, just to make Dan happy, and I will look up terms for not for biology, for geology.
Noise. This makes me happy.
Yes,
Anyway,
I'm very happy that you're happy, Dan.
You fabulous people in here want to say goodbye?
Yeah, because I am.
Goodbye.
I'm tired.
Goodbye,
Bye.
everybody.
Goodbye.
We love you all.
We want to lick you all.